Hello traders, good day to you all. This is Christopher Glen. Today is the 3rd of July, and this is the daily market review for the current market status. We've got a pretty specific condition coming up today. Let's go to the calendar. Looking at the calendar, we can see that we've got a pretty condensed day in terms of announcements. We had several announcements during the morning time, giving an additional weakness to the Australian dollar. We saw the Australian dollar breaking down, especially in front of the New Zealand, because both of them were active back in the Asian markets time frame at the same time. We can say that the Australian dollar expressed a lot of weakness even in front of the euro. But today we need to pay attention to the minimum bid rate at the euro area, and after that the announcement regarding all the announcements that we're expecting to see at 1:30 p.m. GMT time. So let's go over the announcements. First of all, we've got the trade balance on behalf of the Canadian market. I want to remind you that Canadian market was closed yesterday. We had a vacation day in Canada, and therefore there was a lot of potential to express a lot of issues that formed in the background while the Canadian dollar was closed. Uh, Usually we're expecting to see large gaps once the Canadian dollar will begin to operate over there. A trade balance indication, European Central Bank press conference, we can open that up. Usually they're talking about, the press conference is about an hour long and has two parts. First, prepared statement is read when the conference is open to press, questions, and obviously according to the questions the announcement itself will reveal several issues regarding the economy. We know that Bernanke is trying to support the market, trying to give a lot of confidence for traders to trade toward a stronger euro in the market. And we know that that strength is affecting the dollar significantly. And another thing is that the announcement that the condensed time frame, 1:30 p.m., when all the announcements will appear at the same time, is definitely going to affect the market significantly. I remind you that tomorrow is the 4th of July, and therefore we are expecting to see a low amount of liquidity. The US market will be closed, and therefore the expression that we will see today will move forward into next week as well. That is the assumption, as an obvious assumption. On behalf of the dollar, we've got a non-farm employment change because tomorrow is a vacation day in the United States, and that was moved to today at 1:30, and we've got the trade balance and unemployment claims, which are the usual announcements on Thursday. But also we will receive the unemployment rate, which is usually on Friday, the first Friday of the week, along with the non-farm payroll. But still, because tomorrow we've got a closed day in terms of bank in the United States, then we will receive the announcement today. After that, we will receive another announcement regarding the US dollar at 3 p.m. ISM non-manufacturing PMI. But that indication will definitely, it won't make such an enormous wave as 1:30 p.m. That's what we're expecting to see. Let's go to the chart. Let's have a bit of an analysis regarding the the dollar index. So we can see that the Australian dollar versus Japanese yen, if we would like to talk a bit about the Australian dollar, is in a position to move forward toward the weaker perspective. When I told you that the Australian dollar lost a lot of strength, I was talking about this move over here. We've received an announcement regarding the Australian dollar during night time, during the Asian markets time frame. There, the Australian dollar lost a lot of strength as an outcome of the announcement, and since then we've received a clean five-wave downtrend movement all this entire 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right now we're expecting to see this completion of an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Then we will expect to see a continuance of a downtrend, a very logical structure in terms of Elliott wave analysis. Again, because of the expectation for a lot of announcements at the same time, my assumption is that we will see this chart moving down at the time of the announcements at 1:30 p.m. GMT time. Another good potential, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar for a downtrend movement. Again, the Australian dollar is expected to express an additional weakness on behalf of the markets. We can see that we had several impulse movements climbing higher previously, such as this one, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. But see how enormous this downtrend movement, it shows that the impulse movement, the impulse movement regarding the Australian dollar is moving toward a low rate, no question about that. An additional weakness is expected to form on the chart on behalf of the Australian dollar. Australian dollar, US dollar is approaching the same levels as all the other charts. Potential to see a downtrend over here, almost across on the stochastic. That's a good indication for downtrend movement. And the euro versus the Australian dollar, even this chart is approaching good potential to see an additional weakness on behalf of the Australian dollar. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 climbing higher. Let's move forward to the dollar index. So over here we can see, just as I was expecting, I told you yesterday in the beginning of the week, told you that I'm expecting to see the dollar gaining strength. This is the daily chart showing the average movement of the dollar. That is the dollar index. So I told you that my assumption is that once we'll drop down toward this, completing the corrective pattern, we will see a stronger dollar in the market. You can go back to the announcement that I gave for at the beginning of the week, and you can see that that was my assumption. Right now we've got a pretty clean uptrend movement, but that's this is the golden opportunity that we're expecting to see in the Forex market. Monthly movements will begin like this. So the assumption is that once we'll receive the announcement, we'll have a spike, a bit of downtrend, and then we'll cross this trend line significantly. Again, that's the assumption if the dollar will gain strength. This line over here represents the opinion, the confidence of traders. Once we cross the trend line, then we'll move forward, then that will add an enormous amount of confidence for traders to move toward a stronger dollar in the market. Now, I've been talking about the difficulty of seeing a stronger dollar in the market because of the monetary policy in the United States, but still, weakness on behalf of the euro will express strength on behalf of the dollar that will cause this trade to spike. I'm doing this analysis not only because of the dollar, but also because of the condition of the gold. If we will go to the gold, we can see that the gold for the past several days completed a pattern of an uptrend movement. You can see very nicely it completed a clean structure of an uptrend movement, exploiting the weakness that we saw on behalf of the dollar. So again, still we're waiting to see the expression of weakness on behalf of the gold, basically expressing the strength of the dollar that we're expecting to see on other charts. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is the currencies in front of the US dollar. The Russian ruble, the Turkish currency, and the South African rand. All of them are showing good potential to continue higher. On a daily chart, we can see again a completion of a corrective pattern and a potential to climb higher. But the thing is that in front of many assets, we're approaching the fluctuation levels around trend lines. Look at that. Just the market is basically blocking itself around the trend line, waiting for an additional information so that the market will receive confidence. Look at this, for example. The same position over here. Market is trying to receive an additional confirmation for this move, and the same goes for this structure as well. So all three currencies, all three exotic currencies, the Russian ruble, the Turkish currency, and the South African rand, they express potential to move forward beyond trend lines that will dictate the futures reaction of the currencies. A bit of confidence on behalf of the dollar, meaning weakness on behalf of the euro, or a good potential announcement, unemployment rate lower than the prediction, or the non-farm payroll is giving good expression. All of these indications will eventually deliver potential to see a stronger dollar in the markets. That is the assumption that I'm looking for at the moment, and that is my guideline. And we will have to wait and see. But again, we've got a great potential to begin long and strong movements that will continue for the next several days, even weeks. Should pay attention to the structures that we can see over here. I'd like to wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant day, and bye-bye.